On Jackass Forever on Blu-ray today, Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass Gang are back with new friends and celebrity guest stars for the most hilarious, outrageous pranks and dangerous stunts ever. The brand new movie is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics are calling it the best Jackass yet. Own it now on Blu-ray and get bonus, never-before-seen stunts, rated R from Paramount Pictures.
Running low on energy, long days and even longer nights. Tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering? Need to make it through work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all natural ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now, for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer: this product has not been approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning: this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant. Do you like your pancakes patted? Your biscuits buttered? Your cakes fluffy? Then you should get Mother Butters. I put that on everything. Pasta, veggies, rice, and everything nice. Mother Butters will get you right. Oh yeah, GMO free, and for those who are vegan, Mother Butters has a non-dairy option. That's right, there's enough Mother Butters for everyone to enjoy. Get Mother Butters from your local grocery store. Hey man! What you doing in my kitchen?
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like a juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Blurred's Eye View, Ohio's nerd threesome you'd actually like, but there's only two of us today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But don't
Yeah,
forget,
you get more like space from my big ass head when there's just two cameras.
Jesus.
I'm feeling this. I'm okay with this.
Oh my God.
You see, is not with us today.
He's not.
He had to go adult.
Yeah, adulting kind of sucks around this time of the year, but whatever. We got to handle the business. But if you're watching us right now, don't forget to subscribe to us on the Twitch channel, which is Blurred's Eye View 1. And if you're watching us on YouTube, and if you aren't, you should hit that notification bell, and you'll get the latest in geek news and reviews, as well as the Fury's reaction reviews and much, much more. And you can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, including iHeartRadio and Opulence Radio. I'm your host, the man on the wall, Chris Fury. With me is the cosplay diva, the Princess Tiana of all of things, the female Wayne Brady.
That part.
That part right there.
Changed my name too in the beginning. I'm female Wayne Brady now because I have
the female
so many things.
She's the female Wayne Brady. I'm the Black Bob Hope. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever.
So much going on. So much going on. But hey, everybody.
What is going on?
Well, apparently, we need stricter gun laws because it's rough to go like year after year, really ever since Columbine. As far as on a national front, we've noticed just this uptick in it being reported more. Now, I'm with some people on the internet basically saying, I do believe they manipulate the news to, instill fear and a whole bunch of other stuff. I do believe that. I think that's why we get some stories set a certain way over and over again. I also believe we just got some crazy ass people in this world, some sick, hateful people in this world, evil energy in this world. And these awful things are going to keep happening unless we really get a hold on our society, because not trying to be funny, we're not a third world country where we're just used to war and strife and guns everywhere. There's pockets of communities in each state that maybe are used to a certain amount of gun violence, but it's not like this thing we should be known for. So I don't know what the exact solution is, because I believe in people's right to bear arms, but I'm also like, I'm sick of like people having certain guns where I'm like, why would you need
that? Why would you need
why
that?
did you need that? And they're almost always a certain age, almost always a certain race. And I'm just like, what is going on where the same energy you profile us with, put that energy over there to Billy and Connor that run around and do this, because this is ridiculous. We shouldn't be afraid to have our kids in elementary school and middle school and high school. It used to kind of be
actual babies.
Yeah, babies. And it used to be a thing, I know, in a lot of people's families, where they would just pray certain members of the family get out of high school. And that was primarily because of the neighborhood they were living in, right? So just to graduate and turn 18 was an achievement. We're not talking about neighborhoods like that, where gun violence or gang violence or any of that is prevalent. We're just talking about like suburban, what should be looked at as normal areas. And we have to be worried about, are our kids going to make it to graduation? And then we can worry about
it shouldn't be anything. It shouldn't be anything when you wake up in the morning and have to worry about sending your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old off to elementary school and have to worry. You're already worried you're sending your kid off to school. You're just hoping they're okay. You shouldn't have to worry about something like this. It's
on top
too
of
much.
Worried about going to church, on top of worried about going to Walmart. It's always something. So I'm like, all right, I don't want to, drink fear juice and be like, well, I can't go anywhere. I'm just going to stay inside. I think a lot of us had enough of that with COVID and everything else. I know that's not the overall answer, but the real answer and how we need to tackle it, I think the people that are in charge, real charge, don't want to put their foot down in that way. They don't want to really call out America's racist roots. They barely want to teach critical race theory in school, let alone really say, hey, we have a problem here with race-related shootings, and we also have a problem in general with the white demographic, white males in particular, not just being serial killers, because they're at that uptick too, but just shooting places the fuck up. I'm all for
being taken in alive and unscathed. We're not even talking, and that's the Buffalo. So at least in this Texas situation, I think he took himself out, if I'm not mistaken.
I was reading different articles and almost like 5 minutes apart. So they were, I think, getting their information. One I saw like he died. Another one was saying, well, he taken to the hospital. I don't know what it is now, because the numbers were changing too with the deaths. And I know that's not how we normally start this show, but it just happened. And
and then it's at some point it has to be talked about. I mean, we are that platform that has to bring. This is a hot topic. It's a hot topic, and this is that platform where we, talk about everything. We just don't delve too far into it because we try to, lighten it up. But
the world's hard.
But this is one of them things that it just had to be addressed. It just had to be talked about, and it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be a solution now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, not next week. You got people in Congress. One representative actually is saying, "Why are we here?
Right?
Why are we here?" So.
Especially when you're not going to really do what needs to be done. I'm like, we need stricter gun laws. I'm not saying take everybody's stuff away, but I'm saying really look into this on top of for those people that do truly have mental health issues, and it's not something you're slapping on them because they're white.
Exactly.
Get them the help that they actually need. Still punish asses.
Yeah, we still in May, which is considered Mental Health Awareness Month. Hello, so it needs to be done.
But anyway,
you mentioned Walmart, and there's been this thing lately, and I was on the trend with it, or a trend against it, I should say. We didn't ask for this. We did not ask for Juneteenth ice cream. We knew a year ago when the government decided to make this a thing, make Juneteenth a national holiday. We in the night skin community knew that the first thing they were going to do was try to market off of that, in which our collective minds were much like this.
Bitch.
You know, we all had a this is awful. I've been waiting on to use this one for the longest. You know, we had to, and the Black Coalition of Black cartoon actors. But yeah, I'm glad to say that Walmart heard the cry. They heard the yell. I shouldn't say cry. They heard the backlash. It wasn't the backlash. It was the backlash, and they pulled it from the stores. Now, if you want to support an ice cream, and it's Juneteenth coming up, I suggest you, and this is free promotion. I'm putting it out. I suggest you try this Creamalicious. I don't know if you can see that. This Creamalicious. They have several flavors.
Good.
They're very good. This one is Porch Light Peach Cobbler, and this one is
I had a red velvet cake one too. Like they actually have been in Walmart for a minute. Yeah. I want to say like last fall is when I noticed them, and I got like 3 or 4 because I couldn't choose a flavor because they all seem so good. I will say for like you sweet tooth people, it tastes more to me like a cream yogurt than an actual ice cream. Yes. So when they say cream, they really do mean that. So ice cream sometimes is more dense. Sometimes if it's super frozen, you could like bite ice cream. This is kind of some melt in your mouth cream, but it's definitely
so good.
It's definitely so good. So I'm happy she's getting the basically free
the CEO. So for those who are wondering, the CEO's name is Elizabeth Rogers, and it's called you follow her on Instagram, is at Soul Creamalicious. And yeah, this they got a new patron out of me.
Now I wish people, and when I say people, I mean the majority of Black people, we need to keep the same energy when it comes to local laws and voting. So I'm more of a know your local candidates in voting than I am on like a national thing, because your locals end up eventually nationals. That's what they're all going for. They're wanting seats in Congress.
Please pay attention to that. Please pay attention to that.
So I'm like, if we can get together quickly and basically drag Walmart for doing this, that goes to show you where our power is a lot of times, and money talks. So when they realize they can get canceled and lose some dollars or be looked at crazy, they react in a certain way. So that's why.
Yeah, and it didn't take them long. It did not take.
It didn't take long. Now there's other shit we've been asking for, and we've been, crying about, but because we haven't been one band, one sound about it, as much as I don't like that we're looked at as a monolith sometimes, I think we go in and out of adapting that. So sometimes it's the majority of Black people saying, oh, hell nah. And then other times we're all split off. But some stuff, if we just showed more solidarity.
And leave it to us, because I did a TikTok on both videos, mind you, of when they put it on the shelf and when they pulled it off. I did 2 videos about that. And the responses are nuts, because like some people, when I put out the first one about the ice cream being out, they were saying, oh, it tastes like oppression. I'm like, leave it to our people to.
And then I get why they did it too, because
I get it. I'm not even mad that they did it.
A year or 2 ago, Ben & Jerry's had an ice cream that wasn't a Juneteenth ice cream, but Ben & Jerry's had some type of unity ice cream or whatever. Yeah. So it's not the first time.
But they're very big, and they're very big supporters.
Black Lives Matter stuff. So it's not the first time a company has been like, okay, maybe y'all will buy into this. So that's why I wasn't really posting about it like that, because I'm like, people have done this before. It just hasn't been this in your face.
Yeah. So wait a minute, let me get my thing up, because I know you love it, and we haven't been able to play it lately. So here we go.
Like 10 times better than mother's butter or chocolate balls. I don't approve or make those. That's something him and DC. I hate it. He knows I hate it.
wait till you see the new breakfast one I'm coming up with. I got a slew of those coming up the pipe. But in Blurred News, Mike Coulter took to Instagram with Kristen Ritter.
Who's she from?
This is Jessica Jones.
Okay.
And this is Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage. And they took
probably because her hair.
He took to Twitter and says, LC and JJ equals big T's. Hashtag Marvel, hashtag the Defenders, hashtag Luke Cage, hashtag Jessica Jones. Which my response to all of that,
don't you put that on us!
I swear to God.
I think they're just doing it just as clickbait, because honestly, the way I'm looking at it, I don't give a fuck about none of them. I care about Charlie Cox only.
Wait a minute. So what why you say that? He's back.
Wait, officially? Because they said
officially.
They were going to redo.
It's
oh
official.
My God, I'm gonna cry, yo.
It's official. This literally came out a day after Mike Coulter was saying equal big T's. I don't think it's clickbait. I think they know what they got in their hands.
I would have heard this story more because I heard they were doing a reboot for Daredevil, and I heard that like a couple of days ago. So I was like, okay, well, who the fuck are they gonna reboot it with?
They're not. See, here's the thing. It's a continuation. It's still with Charlie Cox. They're coming in a different direction.
No, I need to see this because I'm gonna get emotional. I need to see this. Yeah. I'm looking this up.
I think it popped down. What's today? Today's Tuesday. I think it came down Thursday or Friday.
Hold on.
So yeah. so you can cry.
Hold on.
She's gonna get up and run through the streets.
Oh my God, y'all don't understand how much I love this show.
So not only are we getting Daredevil back, and we knew something was going to happen because, spoiler alert, he was in No Way Home, and Vincent D'Onofrio was in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. So we knew something was going to happen. We didn't know what, when, or how. And it's been officialized. They are doing it. They are doing it.
Okay, see, they're already getting like a bullseye situation. They already picked somebody for that.
Yeah,
or a fan cast. I'm not sure.
It's probably it might be a fan cast, but they are on it.
Well, they say Vincent and Charlie are both expected to appear in the new Daredevil series.
Oh, they're Charlie Cox out of his mouth said it.
Oh, where's this at?
I'll send you the link in a little bit.
Thank you, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be all in my feelings, and this isn't right because y'all don't.
No, understand. It's a done deal. So last night the final trailer of Thor: Love and Thunder dropped, and I gotta say, with Taika Waititi still directing it and obviously doing the voice of Korg, he still brings a lot of the comedy and he brings a lot of edge to this. I am looking forward to this.
This was the best trailer.
It really was.
Like, this trailer was way better than the others, because others I was like, I'm still gonna watch.
They were like teasers,
but I wasn't excited. And I was like, okay, this is the Super Bowl
scene
trailer.
Here did it. That scene did it right there when he's reaching for Mjolnir and Jane's getting it instead, and he flips. He doesn't know what to do. I think this is. Look, I've liked all the Thor movies. Dark World really isn't one of my favorites.
It's not a lot of people's favorites.
But it wasn't. It was done by a different director as well. So was the first one. But when Taika Waititi took over Ragnarok and then now this one, it brought a different flavor to it. It brought a little comedy to it. It brought a little drama. And so
I'm excited for Christian Bale, and I'm definitely excited that Chris Hemsworth decided to go back to the gym. It's gonna be.
I love how they covered the fact that this was a form of depression. When we see him in his quote unquote dad bod, it's a form of depression. And when you look back at everything that was going on, not with just him, but with all their MCU characters, they are dealing with shit. in a way that we didn't really look at it, and they covered it.
And I couldn't imagine feeling like the snap happened because of me.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
all
the
this
snap-
happened because I didn't go for the head. Well,
Right. And
fantastic.
imagine all of that. So I'm
but
looking
he said,
forward
"I
to
bet
it.
you won't happen again." That's what he said. Bet you won't
Right.
miss again.
We seen that. We seen him do that. He was like, "Yeah, what happened? I went for the head. Can't get mad at he. Like he had a second shot at it. I can't get mad. He did it. We got some great stuff tonight. If you were a late 80s, 90s, or early 2000s kid, you obviously had a love for several cartoons that we obviously loved, but they were taken from us. And I'm gonna quote our boy Stefan, but they took it from us too soon. So these are cartoons that we wish they would have brought back. We'll start with some random ones. Some of them mine, some of them are DC's, but here's one that I
that was
absolutely
so
loved.
good.
Jackie Chan Adventures
Adventures was good.
was something I didn't know I wanted and didn't know I needed. And I mean, I don't know which here's the crazy thing. It wasn't so much Jackie that made the show. It was his niece and his uncle.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because Jackie, and it was always something.
I'm not saying it like that.
Yeah. and Jade running around, and she was such a trouble starter and always in trouble. And it just got better and better, and it was all over the talismans. And I swear I still want that full set. Somebody makes that set, and I know they do.
I think it's just floating around.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. Here's another one. Recess.
I feel like Recess was good. I feel like they got enough seasons.
Yeah, I think it's well. You know what? Considering the fact that it takes place in elementary school, yes, But if you're going from a day-to-day basis, just some of the stuff they were dealing with, and once again, we get Vince, who is the typical. We talked about it on an earlier show before, how every black character in the cartoons, they all look, it was the same dude.
They were like, we don't know what else to do. They're like, white people come in variety, you guys do not.
We'll give him a ball, we'll give him a box with a little curl in his hair. He'll be fine. This was DC's pick. DC's pick was Big Bad Beetleborgs.
It was actually good.
Actually, it was.
My brother loved that shit.
The premise was weird. The premise was weird as fuck. You had three kids who loves comic books, and they go into a haunted house, and a ghost is who gives them their powers. Like he grants them a wish, and the ghost looked like freaking Jay Leno.
Yeah, it was weird.
His name was Flabber. If you got past the origin story, it was fine.
It was weird.
The show was fine,
but there wasn't too much we couldn't get past back then. We just were along for the ride. We didn't need.
It was the Power Rangers was the whole big thing at that time. Still is, but it was like the big wave to ride, and they just jumped on board. It was half Power Rangers, half Transformers.
Suits. Do it.
Yeah,
That's what works.
Here was my favorite, Reboot. Reboot was a show that really was at its time was pushing the boundary for CGI, and how did they do it? They actually canceled it, but then brought it back. And when they brought it back, these were the same characters. They were just upgraded. They were just all upgraded. Did they
bring it back? I don't even remember this shit.
Oh yeah, this was a Saturday morning staple. Now, you might fall out on this one, but fans are still crying for this one to come back, and I'm one of them.
Oh yeah, that was a no-brainer. I didn't even put it on my list because I'm just like, well, yeah.
If you don't want Gargoyles to show back up, I don't care if you did a live action. I don't care if you did an animated. We want this shit back. Why we still have Keith David, unless you're gonna hire me to take the role, which apparently I can do. I don't know.
It was a great show, and I heard Disney canceled it because to them, it just wasn't giving like the ratings. And I'm just like, dang.
I don't know what they were looking at.
It ended up being a sleeper hit, though.
It was honestly, it was a black show.
That's probably what it was. It was like, no, we good.
You had the lead character, which was funny because Keith David and Sally Richardson played father and daughter in, like, I think it was a Lifetime movie. Like, he was a pastor and she was the daughter, and it was weird because I'm like, oh, look, it's Eliza and Goliath. It's just it was weird. Kids Next Door.
That was a cute show for a lot of reasons.
So many reasons. And one of our favorite voice actresses, Cree Summer, was on this show. She did number 5.
Do it.
God, she played number 5, and she played the older sister, who was like, and I loved everything about number 5. I really did. God, it must have been hell coming up with all those acronyms for every episode, because that shit was banana. I'm like, how did you come up with that?
On that idea for a minute.
Oh my God. Yeah, but see, there's actually a YouTube video that's out there that talks about what it was that caused them to get canceled. And they had so many, and the ideas that they had were amazing. They were just like, oh yeah, we can do it, and it's like a couple of years later, and like, number one,
they definitely
still
could have fast forwarded this shit.
Yeah, there was so many levels
when they tried to make them grown ups, like Rugrats all grown up, and
they really pushed.
I want to say they even did that with Doug for a little minute, and I'm like, this isn't translating well.
Yeah, but the ideas they had for that, and that it's in that same YouTube video. I have to find it. I'll send you a link if I can find it. But they had like great ideas how they could go forward with it, and I'm like, you sat on that. You really sat on that. Now these are some of yours.
Daria was amazing. I like that it's not one of those shows that just went into obscurity because people still talk about it. I even saw one girl, and I wish I remembered her name to promote her business, but she was making Black Girl Daria pins because this show transcended race. Like everybody could look, and it was like, I think at the time when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm so Daria and Jane. It's like, no, I'm fucking Gwen. Like, yeah, I grew up and I was like, nope, I'm Gwen. But it had something for everybody, and I loved that dry, realistic humor. And I got into the show like freshman year of high school. So I think that's why it was so relatable, because it was like, this is what it's like the same kind of tropes in high school with the popular people and the outcasts and, the nerds. None of that shit changes. It's always the same mix, but how they approached it and how they showed a real family where the dad was just a dysfunctional nut and the mom was just tired of his shit. I'm like, yes, show this side of things.
Right. Here was another one of yours.
The Critic was amazing. First of all, that voice work though. Like
John Lovitz.
Listen, he is so ridiculously good on the voice actor side. And second of all, it looked just like him, right? Like
it does.
Dead ass him. But The Critic actually was on Comedy Central, I believe.
Comedy Central, and I want to say USA too.
Yeah, they kind of like moved it around. But again, that smart, witty satire, him just trying to keep his job. Like, it was just, I don't know why I fell into this pocket going into high school where I wanted to see like cartoons that were talking about real life. But it's like, yes, we get depressed working jobs we don't like, or trying to keep your job, or balancing family, or trying to date to have a family. They covered a lot of stuff, and it was funny.
Speaking of someone keeping their family,
yeah.
Well, not that one. Here he is. Here he is. Duckman.
Okay, this was an acquired taste. This was like, if you like oblongs, go back and watch it. Because this shit was like, what was that show called? This was like Aeon Flux.
Yeah, it was Aeon Flux. It was right. Yeah, it was.
It's a weird ride. You can't even describe this show, in my opinion.
It was just
picture alone.
It always threw me because his sister-in-law. I'm like, how does a duck have thick ass thighs? I'm trying to figure this out.
Yams.
It was
I
like,
was like, what is happening? So they kind of pushed the boundaries with that. I should have put Aeon Flux up here while you playing, because that show,
oh,
god damn, what a show.
that was a show.
That was insanely ahead of its time.
What was it?
Definitely
Like
would have been a hit on Adult Swim. That would have
Yeah.
slapped on Adult Swim.
So here was another one, and I'm surprised a lot of people, you mentioned it, so it was like Real Monsters.
It was so good, and to have follow the monsters that have a real life, and this was actually where Monsters Inc. should probably got their inspiration from.
Yeah.
Because they were working, for those that don't know, back in the day in 1997. These monsters, Oblina, Crumb, and Ickis, aka Icky, they were taught by the Grumble, who actually was a drag queen. I'm like, when you think about it, Chris, this show was wild. He had on 4 sets of heels. Red Pump,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah, I need to give this a rewatch, because I bet you there's all type of jokes and
That's just like him in Powerpuff Girls.
well, another that
Yeah.
was a full queen. No
Yeah.
question.
Because it was just like, are you the devil? And why are you giving me drag queen vibes? And like,
Drag queen. But
and then you sound very feminine, and they're calling you him. I'm like, it's so weird.
he was probably like the first they them. But
Right.
in cartoon world. But yeah, they're taught by the Grumble, and they actually go to like a real school. Like it's like when you go to a lecture hall for college, that's what they go to
Yeah.
to go out and to learn how to scare. But of course, Ickis, the one that looks like a little red bunny, he does not scare well. He's always scared. There are some cool moments where if he gets mad enough, he'll like get really big and scary. But this was up there with kind of like Invader Zim and some other darker cartoon shows,
Yeah.
where I'm like, you guys deserve more seasons, because I like this type of stuff. Give me like hyper realism or something a little dark and quirky, and I'm a fan.
Okay, yeah. Here was another one. Angry Beavers.
Again, a smart TV show. Let me tell you how I'm still waiting for us to have a mailing system where we shoot up that shoot, and then it just comes like Amazon's almost there. They supposed to make it happen. Amazon is almost there. Angry Beavers had like the wild wit and humor of Ren and Stimpy, but again, it was smart like the critic. And animation wise, to me, it still holds up. I love a good 2D animation style. And this still holds up when I watch it. I don't feel like, oh my God, turn this shit off. How was I entertained by this? They were giving you real grown jokes with some like slapstick comedy in there. But Dag and Norbert, like, they were it.
Yeah.
They was
there
up
was
there
some-
singing all type of songs and stuff. Like like this other cartoon show, Steven Universe. Like certain cartoons, they really do a good job with their little songs throughout the seasons. Angry Beaver had some bops.
Yeah. This was one of DC's, and actually one of mine, because it was something about the late 80s, early 90s that allowed that a lot of networks would do cartoons based off of movies and franchises.
Around the same time.
Yeah, like I mean, they had a RoboCop cartoon, for Christ's sake, you know.
They said
And Rambo and a
this
Chuck Norris in his Commando. I'm like, how do we get cartoons from the most violent movie, like these rated R movies?
What's gonna bring us the money? That's what they
Right. But Beetlejuice
this was
fun.
good. And there's
Beetlejuice
some
absolutely
cool
fun.
cosplays that come from Lydia from this version of her.
They're really Cheyenne Jazz Wise cosplay loves cosplaying. She loves Beetlejuice, loves cosplaying Lydia. And she's another seamstress. She's out in Vegas. She's another one. She's another good one. She's amazing. Elvira, she does Elvira. Lydia, Starfire is her favorite. She does so many different versions of Starfire. It's ridiculous. You might even know it if you see her.
Yeah, I hope I'm following her. If not, send me the information.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, she's another one. This was another one of DC's Cowboys of Moon Mesa.
What the fuck is this? What channel was this on?
This was, I want to say, CBS. This is when the three big networks used to have. They used to have cartoons like ABC, NBC, CBS. They used to have cartoons on Saturday morning. You know, that was a thing, people. from 6 to 12.
Oh
we
no,
had-
you was inside the house watching motherfucking cartoons.
Yeah.
And then if you was really good at it, you was toggling because you had to hit the Fox, you had to hit like WB, like you had an order in which your shows went in. Because I'm like, I needed Spider-Man, The Tick. How did I forget about
the Tick? Jesus.
I again a
Love
grown
The
ass
Tick.
show.
Chairface Chippendale. Good Lord. Here was one of mine, and Spawn was on HBO.
Wanda.
And once again, Keith David makes this list. And when I say this was probably one of the first R-rated like cartoons that came on after midnight. It came on at midnight every Friday. And I would get home, I would get off work just to see this. Because I worked at this restaurant and I used to get off work Friday nights. Is it slow? Yeah, because I didn't want to stay up. This was before you had like HBO West and all that other shit.
You didn't have the ability to like record shit because there was again, kids, we're old. So there was a time where
you had to wait. You had to wait.
TiVo came out and we could record shit. I don't even think you have to do that anymore because everything's just streaming.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even
like
think they offer that shit anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. I loved. There were their first story arc dealt with Billy Kincaid, and if you know anything about Spawn, you'll know that Billy Kincaid was the ice cream man, but he was also a child predator and killer, and that was one of Spawn's first people. Like he was just like, no, this guy has to die. There is no saving, being a being of hell.
Well,
and knowing that he didn't want to use his powers because he had at the time he had a clock, he had a timer, he had a countdown timer. So however much necroplasm he used, depending on what it was he used it for. Yeah, nerd. It would count down, and every time, and if it got down to 0, he would get sent back to hell. So, but he felt the need to take this dude right off the board. He had to. And when they attacked that storyline, I was like, oh, we doing that. It's this cartoon.
Oh, we're not playing.
Shit. I'm with that.
I like long cartoons that take it there. I wish more did that and pushed it. Of course, this was revolutionary at the time these shows came out, y'all. So that's why we remember those few that did it, because it wasn't common. Now we can have things like Castlevania and other elevated animated series that are like, no, we're like rated X, so this ain't for your kids.
No. now they really pushed the envelope. Double Dragon was another one of DC's favorites, which was based on.
Where is this at? Wait, isn't this getting a movie?
Oh God, don't tell me they're doing another movie.
Are they doing it? Oh, well, sorry, go ahead.
So Double Dragon. So for those who don't know, because me and DC game, Double Dragon was the Nintendo game from back in the late 80s, in the early 80s, I should say. And they had a cartoon. They also had a movie at that time, and it didn't go over well. As we all know how video game films do, they don't do too well. But the cartoon was great. The cartoon was much, much, much better than whatever film we were getting, and we were better off for it because they had. I remember Fist of the North Star live action, and this was after I seen the anime, and I couldn't believe I was watching that.
I'm gonna look this up because I promise you they're doing a movie for this shit. What is it called? Double Dragon?
If it's Double Dragon,
I'm like a Chinese spot.
Oh boy. Here's one of yours.
I'm gonna go back to look. I had to be that person to like look it up.
What's that? What?
Yeah, I'm like, isn't this getting a reboot?
Oh God.
I had to. I'm sorry. And then I ran into the 1994 version that was like 1 star.
Exactly.
Blown motherfucking high.
Let's talk about this one.
The fact that I still quote this, for y'all that remember Clone High, me and a girlfriend still, when we're having ridiculous, stressful moments, we'll be like, don't cry, just make it to the kitchen, like the robot would say. When they thought Gandhi had ADD and they were treating it like AIDS, and there was a song about it, and they were like, Gandhi has ADD. You get it from toilet seats. It was hilarious. So Abe Lincoln, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, Robert Kennedy, who I learned from a new Netflix special about Marilyn Monroe, was a motherfucking hoe. This show was about this mad scientist who took the DNA from all of these historical great people and put them in a high school, and they act just like the high schoolers. So it does give you that Daria feel, but it's almost like Daria mixed with Angry Beavers. It's ridiculous, and it didn't get enough seasons. The show was ahead of its time. Tom Green at the time, again, dating myself. Tom Green making his appearances on the show were fucking fantastic. The voice acting work and who they got to show up in the small amount of time since this was on MTV with Daria, it was just.
And this was before like Total Drama Island, because
exactly. Again, they're following that same type of snarky, real comedy, but still cartoon, because Total Drama Island is very watchable for adults. For those of you looking for something to watch with your kid, but not be bored out of your mind, Total Drama Island is it. But this shit right here, hilarious. And again, if they redid it, this is another one that I would push. Like, please let this be on Adult Swim, and go take it there in a way you couldn't do it on MTV. Because this used to be on like maybe 9 o'clock on MTV or something like that.
It was somewhere.
Robert Kennedy, the way they had him acting in this was exactly how it's reported he was in real life. I mean, a womanizer, but they don't want you to say that stuff, when you're looking back on.
When they'd be like, we like to look at the bright side of things. I'm like,
right,
they were human too. They were human too. They
were. And I heard him and his brother, and it started with that daddy, had the bitches. In this documentary, they said that some people that worked in the White House used to have to kind of wait outside the door, like let him get done with whoever's in there, and then we can go ahead and get in. I'm like,
it was Marilyn that kind of blew the top when she sang sang Happy Birthday. It was like when they was like
Marilyn was
she sang that a little too. She broke the side piece rule a little bit there.
Another history nerd fact: Marilyn was fucking both the brothers.
Yes, she was.
She had no clue. She was obsessed with Bobby first, and then fell more for JFK. And I was just like, I can't believe this. And then probably a month before, she called things off because she didn't want to see them anymore. But they had already, I guess, gave her walking papers. Like, look. You've heard stuff you shouldn't have heard, because she was like around like people in meetings and stuff. So it was like, ooh, she wasn't supposed to know we was doing this, that, and the other. Like, we got to cut this off. But I couldn't believe it. But yeah, in Clone High, complete bastard, y'all. This guy is the worst. And Gandhi was my favorite because he was insane. They had him like have ADD. Like it was crazy. They went to school with Paul Revere. They had somebody at their school one time acting like those people that go to schools to try to sell different products or get you to sell them to your neighbors and parents. And when they figured out what was in the stuff, it was blue house paint and pancake mix. I still remember that shit. And they had everybody pushing it. And they're like, oh, if you sell 50,000 of these, you get a bike. Like, that's the shit they had us doing in high school. It's like, we're not doing all this work just to get scraps or some cookies. Fuck out of here.
Little ass AM radio.
The prizes to sell chocolate or whatever they wanted us to in school were ridiculous.
Capitalism at its finest.
Come on. They teach us.
We'll teach them young
about that shit.
They'll teach us capitalism. You won't teach us how to do our taxes, right? Is that how it works?
We won't know shit about that.
Or taxes and credit.
Taxes and credit. You don't need to know about that. Just sell this chocolate.
Just sell this shit.
You want this Slinky, don't you?
Look, it got the rainbow colors.
Look. And your mama ain't gonna buy it. She gonna be like, if you got Slinky money, so you might as well sell the chocolate. I hated that shit.
And they still have them doing that shit.
They do. I shut it
down.
I did not have my kid do all the extra work. One year, I was like, "What do you tell me the price you want?" And he told me the price he wanted. I gave him the money and then said, "Just tell him you sold A, B, and C." And then he got to win the prize. I was like, I'm all about working smarter and not harder. We're
just
not
running around begging. Hey,
begging. Why do they teach us to beg? begging, and the product don't even be that good. They're like, oh, you want chocolate covered pretzels, or do you want like peanut butter stuffed bears? Bitch, of course I do, but I don't want to.
I don't want this bucket of peanut butter dough and to make cookies that I'm not going to use right away.
Listen, first of all, why don't you do like the Girl Scouts and sell me cookies already baked? You telling me how to bake my own shit? I'm paying y'all $30 a bucket to do manual labor.
Capitalism at its finest.
Girl Scouts be right there like the crack man on the corner outside of Walmart. What you need, fam?
And they got a window. They got a window. They got a window. This right? Is the Target. You know you want these cookies. You know you want these cookies.
And we be on it every single time.
These shortbreads. I got these shortbreads.
Not the shortbreads.
Yes. Oh man, but we're gonna wrap it up. This was fun because we're going to be doing our season finale next Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet.
Whatever we want.
Whatever the hell we want. That's all we always do. but I'll still be doing like the Furies reaction reviews in the time that we take our break. So I'll be giving some good content and voice work and all that other great garbage. Garbage. Oh man. Where can they find you, Candy B?
Candy B Cosplay. I tell everybody anything you really want to know about me, personal, probably, and professionally. I put a lot out there on my IG. So my IG is the best way to stay updated on everything. It also has my Candy B party business in there because you know your girl is a princess. I'm doing parties, paid gigs. That's all we're talking about now, being paid for ourselves.
Money. Unless it's Elizabeth Rogers Creamalicious ice cream. I'm giving her that free plug.
Okay.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, we want to be paid to be ourselves and create opportunities for other people of color to do the same. So follow me there, and I'm going to be doing an update about Adult Prom because I'm going to be switching locations, which is a good thing because that means I can switch ticket prices because this location is going to be a lot cheaper. So I'm excited about that because that means I can reinvest that money in like more food or alcohol. So okay. So I'm excited about that. And
I failed French. I don't even know what I just said.
Some steak tartare. It's like, what does that mean?
I don't know. It sounds fancy. I'll take it.
I'm excited about HNIC Con coming up. So if anybody's going to be at that, you can catch your girl. I will be there with Mr. Crazy 8 the Great, who will also be performing. So I'll be fangirling out, showing my titties to the performer.
Not for free though.
Not for free. Definitely gotta pay me something. I've done enough for free. We talked about it. Done too much for free, not doing no more. But yeah, just follow the IG page and you get updates on everything. And then of course you can feel free to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, the fucking Ticketed Talks. Y'all need to follow Chris on TikTok because he be consistent. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't consistent on TikTok. Follow Chris on TikTok.
I'll be throwing a few up probably tonight if I'm up for it.
Yeah, Chris be on it. Chris be on it.
I'm frolicking through the field and
definitely pull the frolic.
Leading the night skins and helping lead the ice cream something. I don't know. I'm doing something. I'm always doing something. So
and he's starting to, y'all might see him on the side of some voice work because somebody has been bitching at him for a while about getting that shit done. Yes. So as a true work wife, you do have to kind of be like, oh, I wonder who said that. And I will say this, I'm apologize, fellas. I don't know why we do that. As women, I don't know why we say something, and then when you finally get around to it, we're like, "Oh, you don't." There's no need for us to. It's
called planting the seed. I don't know why you like rubbing our faces in it. That's what it is.
I don't, and it's not right. I don't know why, and I'm starting to realize that. So I find myself even apologizing to Nate. Like, I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that? It's passed down. It's like a female gene or something. We have to be
sitting off to the side and just the arms crossed.
Oh my, no, Chris, that is, exactly what it is. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I said
like
what?
Yeah, remember I said that? I'm like,
remember when I said that?
You did. Mm-hmm.
it's just, I think it's that ego, just that need to be right. We all suffer from it.
Yeah.
And like, if you're one of those people that's like, Google it, and I bet you I'm fucking right. Like, that's me sometimes. So yeah. Sorry, fellas.
Oh, geez. You can find me here, IG, Blurred's Eye View. If you go there, you'll see the link tree. And then the link tree, it'll lead you to every single social media site that I am working on, including the website, which needs to consistently be updated. So if you want to help out the crew, drop me a line. So hey, I got two hands and one big brain. I gotta use it somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, intern.
But you can catch us all. You can catch us doing all this crazy stuff, and you can see me doing all this wild shit. Is frolicking as the voice of the Nightskins and doing voice work and leading the Ice Cream Rebellion and all of that.
I'm not gonna lie, Ice Cream Rebellion sounds pretty cool.
The Ice Cream Rebellion, it does sound cool. See how quick I came with that on the fly. But you can listen to us on Opulence Radio every Mondays and Thursdays, along with What the Shit. And you can catch us doing just a myriad of stuff. But as we do with every show, it's that time to go. We can't give you no more. But
if
anyway,
you are watching and you were wondering what the fuck I was doing,
she's not scraping her feet. Let's get that out the way right now. The villain wins again.
Okay. Because I didn't want y'all to hear it sounding like sandpaper. I couldn't make it to my girl. I had to handle my business. And I didn't want that episode of Martin to be heard where they're like, you got to go to work on Myra's feet. No.
Oh my God. I am too much of a detective and have villain. I swear to God,
funny.
I am not.
Now, again,
people,
promotion,
if you think you're going to get some.
To not cut up no sheets. Oh, okay, come on, Ryman. Then you need this. This is Mr. Pumice. It's the dark purple side, is to get all that dry skin, because it's summertime, ladies' toes need to be out, white toes, whatever color you doing, they need to be out and moisturized. Same thing for you fellas that's going to be wearing open toe sandals.
Now, mind you, she said white toes, not yellow. Not off-white, because there's something wrong with your feet if they
white
like
toes get chose, okay? So have that together for the men that are going to be wearing the hoochie daddy shorts, because I see that's a movement as well.
That's a thing now too. And for the record, no, ladies, I'm not doing the hoochie daddy shorts.
I had already told somebody. I was like,
the voice is enough. The voice is enough. You do have
the legs for the hoochie daddy shorts. That nigga told me, no. Fair enough. But no,
the voice aside, is enough. The voice is all you're getting.
He's not putting on the shorts. Nobody's putting on the shorts that I know. But it's the best pumice stone ever. So that and one more foot thing for y'all, especially during the winter, baby foot peel. You can get it on Amazon or you can buy it in Ulta. Before you try it, though, you have to look up the results, because they have baby foot peel results on Google. And if you're squeamish about peeling skin and stuff, don't look it up. But this stuff gets your feet back to baby smooth condition.
I don't know why it sounded like you said baby pew. I don't know why it sounded like you said baby pew.
No, baby foot, baby peel. Whatever, something like that, but it's normally in an orange packet. But when I tell you, if your skin's like mad dry, this will it lifts up your heel. It you are going to have all the dry skin off. That way you ain't cutting up the sheets or the mattress for those of y'all with real rough feet.
Oh Lord.
That must say, oh Lord. I'm just saying, and they have it so you can use it for your hands too.
See, was Eddie Murphy wrong in Boomerang? Was he wrong in Boomerang?
He wasn't. Some people's feet wrong. Some people's feet be really that bad, or some people got this situation going on and they still be wearing sandals, and I'm like, wow. And you don't think we're gonna look? Because I be looking. I be trying not to look, but I be like.
Okay, so yeah, that's why
I be looking.
This is why my wife tells me you can't go out to say anything with me.
No, I be like,
because I will point that shit out. I'm like, they knew what they were wearing when they.
It'll be
Why the
like
hell
we were saying
are they
with Do You
wearing that?
Speak Geek. It's just like a face. It's just like I'm going to look. I'm going to say something. But yeah, long story short, as I'm babbling on, I was rubbing my feet, y'all. I was getting my life together.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Well, now that the secrets is out. But until next time, when we talk with other blurs and nerds and talk about the topics that only we can talk about and entertain you with, remember to entertain yourself and others, encourage yourself and others, and most of all, educate yourself and others. And I said that completely backwards, didn't I? Yes, I did.
We knew what you meant.
Well, let's give it to them the right way. Educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. And until next mission, it's me, DC, is not here with us. That's too bad. But we're out of here.